Hello, friends and fans. Are we ready to get back into Half-Life 2, starting right where we left off at Ravenholm? I am getting my game started up right now, having some full screen issues. Come on, you can do it. And as a bonus announcement, this doesn't affect anything that has anything to do with my stream itself, but I will be going to Valve on Tuesday. I got an email inviting me to do a study yesterday, and I am so beyond excited. I cannot physically contain it in my body. I have officially vibrated out of my skin and stopped breathing. So that's where I'm at today. Figured it would be absolutely perfect timing to channel that excitement and energy into Half-Life. So here we go. Good start. Solid start every time. Never forget that the pants are dead. Oops. Cool. Good start, good start. We are off to a fantastic start today. That's fine. That's fine. We'll get there. Oh, why did that not get in? That absolutely should have gotten in. Has to be a direct hit, I guess. We'll just prepare some supplies here first. This feels so cruel, even though it is one of the more efficient means of getting rid of them. Honestly, a saw blade through the midsection also wouldn't be super great either. That's very black and charred. Getting sawn in half is not necessarily going to kill you instantly, just saying. Oh, come on, I tried to save that barrel. Let's get some more saw blades here. I have a routine. I have a process. It's not flawless, but it does mean that I don't have to spend almost any ammo in this section, which is always a benefit. It is always weird to me that the saw blades sound when they rattle into the wood is like, it sounds like a growl. It always sounds like a creature. Brutal. Love it. Where did that one go? Oh, just like fell. Alright, that's fine.
For the days of my life as banished, my bones are washed my back, and that all my impurities and fire, it remains the light alone.
So, here's a question for the viewers and anyone who might know. His name is Grigori, right? So why do so many fans call him Grigory? It's fine, I guess. Clearly, you know, we know who is being referred to, but also it's like that meme, not what I'm called. Oh, where did you come from? Extremely disrespectful. Ow. Huh? Oh, it's you. I forgot. I think I have a mod for those half guys to be here. I don't remember if they were in the original. Alright. Where's all my celebrates? I think there was supposed to be more. I shouldn't have just 3 here. Okay, I have 4.
May they become like dust before the wind.
Return to sender. Thank you. Zika, are you already dead? Are you just chilling? I guess he got by the table. Ouch. That was unwise. That was user error. 100% user error. Alright, back to 4. I think I should have grabbed more. I think there were more for me to grab, but I was a bit short-sighted. Is there no final one?
Ah, who is this? Another life to save?
C'est moi!
I'll keep my eye on you.
Where did
More
they...
than that, I
go?
cannot promise.
What, did that just like bump him? Where are all my blades going? Okay, I've got 2 here. We had 1 who's not there anymore, and then we got 1 here. Alright. Prepared for that guy to jump, and then he didn't. Whatever this is, good melee for that guy. And put that there, if I remember correctly. Because it has been a hot second since I played this through. Obviously, I haven't been playing it off stream since I started streaming. And before that, it had been, I guess, like, what, 8 or 9 months or something like that. Like the better part of a year. Which for most people is like, oh yeah, I just played this game. But I'm also the kind of person who will finish playing this game and then just go right back to the start. I will finish the last bit of episode 2 and I'll be like, oh great, this game is so fun. Right back to the train we go. So going a whole year without playing this at all is a while for me. And you would think with that much experience I would have memorized it more, but I've been allocating, oh, come on. Been allocating my brain power for other stuff in that year, so a lot of it has been replaced with other information. I'll get there. I'll get back to it. I'll figure it out. We'll see how much of this I can do without using any guns. Or at least Ravenholm. I will probably need some once the fast zombies start showing up, though. That wasn't where I was supposed to go. That was the special direction, but not the real direction. What a cool time to get hiccups. Thank you. I am surprised that this one didn't get lit on fire. That was extremely unwise. Way to go, me. I'm still getting readjusted to the hitboxes and whatnot. Areas of effects. Like I said, I'll get there. I'll get there. Just gotta refamiliarize myself. I may have mentioned that there was a time a couple of years ago where I literally played this game something like, I don't know, like a dozen times in a row in the span of like a couple of weeks. Because why the hell not? It was a good, great time. Everybody loves Half-Life. If you don't love Half-Life, I don't know you. Okay, well, the radiator doesn't want to come with. Ah, joke's on you, radiator. I make the decisions around here. Nope, it's determined. Alright, that's fine. What am I doing? Going up. Oh my god, why am I totally spacing out? Okay, other ladder. Going up. Going over. Cool. I'll get there. Hello!
Well done, brother. Make free use of my traps, but take care not to fall in them yourself. Behind you!
Definitely do that at least a couple times.
In Ravenholm, you do well to be vigilant.
Doorways and windows are the most difficult part of this method, but it's worth it because it's fun as hell. Saves a bunch of ammo. Baby can't reach. Why did that only get one of them? For real? Oh my god. The amount of disrespect. That's me straight up just pressing the wrong button. Where's the last one? There it is. Anyone coming? Come on. Come on. My mouse is still doing the weird thing it was doing before with being, like, weirdly sensitive, but when I turn it down then it's not sensitive enough, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I might just need a new mouse, and I'm down a saw blade. Well, it's just gone, I guess. Come on. Come on, come get it. You know you want to. That last guy's just not worth my time. That's fine. Like how he's just peeking.
Better and better. I am Father Grigori. You have already met my congregation.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the congregation. Definitely a fan of Grigori. One of my favorite parts is the way that he literally wears Converse. There's something about that that is just so special to me. He's just a guy. He's just like a random guy. He wears normal shoes.
The grave holds nothing worse for you.
Oh my god, why do I keep doing that? How far is the actual explosion range on
It is
those?
you, brother. I apologize. But no harm done. My sins are the least of your concerns.
The paint cans kill the poison head crabs? I guess that's good to know.
May the light of light be with you.
Yeah, I'm probably not getting that saw blade back. Oh, or that one. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Nice. Very cool. How did that not kill him? Bro, that's a cinder block at your head. Fine, get painted. Oh, or don't get painted. Fine then. I want to get the guy that's... Oh, is he already dead? No. Perfect. Thump. Oh, nice. Oh, beautiful. Oh, look at that sportsmanship. Perfect. Amazing. I'd love to see it. My saw blades are just gone. I don't think it's worth looking for them. I'll find other shit.
Although they call me crazy, I care not, for thou art my helper, my strength, and
I wish I could remember offhand what mods I have. I should have taken a little bit of a closer look. I know the unreversing the head crab's zombies speech is definitely one of the mods I have. It just feels right. I think they should be... Hello? Are you okay? He can't find me. Okay, well, that's fine. You're not even violent, you're just confused. Okay, well, you can do your own thing then. That's fine. That's fine. I don't need to bother with you if you're just gonna be like that. That's kinda sad. I wonder if he'll actually come behind me. I wonder how far he'll be able to travel. Oh my god. Getting the head crabs with the gravity gun is significantly more difficult than getting them with the crowbar. Feels like it should be a pretty straightforward, like, just zap them. The head crabs that are with the crowbar, it's one hit, which I feel like is how it should be. You're just a chicken. You're just a gross little chicken. It should not be difficult to dispatch.
here, brother. Come closer.
Yes, give me it.
You've stirred up hell. A man after my own heart. Here, I have a more suitable gun for you. You'll
Yes,
need it.
give it
Catch.
to me.
Good. Now, keep it close.
I
My
will
advice
use
to you
that
is
in
aim for the head.
the rooftop bit.
Hush. Stay calm. There is no rest in Ravenhorn. Move on, and I
Not
will
this
meet
one,
you at the
the other
church.
one. Oh, get fucked. Alright, fine. I'm not actually... Oh. Oops, the wrong button again. That's so cool. Alright, I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna die. Let it reload me. This is dumb. I'm not actually doing like a gunless challenge, so I'm not afraid of actually shooting these guys if I have to. I'm just trying to avoid it for the sake of literally just preserving ammo. You could stand to be less of a hit, though. Oh, now you're on fire and not even dead. That's not ideal. You gonna die? There you go. Alright, whatever. Not my best. That's fine, we'll get there. What? Where did that land? Might have to use the gun a little bit in this area. Who? Yeah, there we go. Avoid dealing with as much as possible. Oh, get up. Go over. Turn around. Flies. Flies is a good touch. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Why is that not hurting? Oh my god. No. No, I'd rather not. Fucking poison ones that are just a nightmare. Whoever allowed you to jump is an absolute sadist. Oh, get out of face. And you. Almost falling off the rooftop. That's fine, that's fine. Everything's fine. We're alive and it's fine. As far as sound design goes, though, their rattle is absolutely fantastic. Its sound is toxic and deadly. Anyone want to conveniently gather right under me? I have a present. I'm gonna get all of you. Ah! Oh! Oh! No! That was garbage. That sucked. No, no thank you. I would like for you all to gather, like you did. I forgot that there was pushback when the ice crabs actually get you. For Christ's sake. Oh my god. Aiming is hard. So good at video games. Oh wait, there's more here. Well, so much for no guns, but that's fine, like I said. Oops, it's a challenge, not a mandate. Helping as much as I can, bud. Let's see. I think we're back up to 4. Yeah, we're up to 4 saw blades. And that guy. Jerk. Sounds like it got him. Nope, apparently not. Can you stop? Yeah, okay. Well, we're just gonna hang out here for a hot minute. Come on, I know you're coming. That's only 3. Where's my 4th? Didn't fall back down. Maybe it's under the debris somewhere. Hello? Where's everybody who wants to come and eat me? Are we just not doing that today? I mean, that's fine. There we go. Come on. No? Nothing? Alrighty. Let's see, where am I sending these? There. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? He got lost. Okay. No, thank you. We'll just avoid you entirely. Not falling off stairs backwards for no good reason. So fucking good at this game. Come on, let me do it. Ah ha ha ha! Gamed the system.
Ah, there you are. At last. I will send the cart for you,
There's
brother.
a
It will be but a
way
moment.
to do a jump here.
Patience, brother.
But I don't think I know
Guard
how to do it.
yourself well.
God, that's satisfying. Ew. Gross. Oh, bullshit. Pushing them out of the way? What is happening there? Are you gonna send the card or no? I'm gonna run out of shotgun shells at this point. It's making noise, but it's not. There we go.
Almost there, brother.
Okay, so if I got a direct headshot, then one shell is enough.
No, brother, step into the cart. The handbrake, brother. Release it and come down.
I would so love to see this game remade the way that Black Mesa was. It could be so incredible.
Live the work of a man who once had too much time on his hands and now finds time for nothing.
Come on, Grigori, let's just go. You don't need to tell me about anything. Excuse you. I remember this used to be a spot where if you kind of jam yourself in, then nothing would be able to hit you, but at some point I think they fixed it. Don't point that thing at me. Nice. God, I love that shit. Where'd it go? Sawblade, come back to me. Sawblade, you're not. There it is. Oh my god. Why is your scripted sequence pushing me around? It's incredibly inconsiderate.
Aim for the head.
I don't think I will, actually. I don't need to.
Rest, my child.
God, that's satisfying.
Bone for your affliction, child. May the light of lights be with you.
Bitch. Oops.
The grave holds nothing worse for you.
So well, nice. Oh, hello. Some ways I feel like getting absolutely fucking, like, bodied by a cinder block is probably, like, the better death compared to being sawn in half with a saw blade being launched at you. Especially if it hits you in the head. Because your top half could survive without the bottom half long enough to be absolutely miserable and suffering. But if that cinder block beans you right in the brain, it's over. Head trauma is weird.
Hurry while I hold the gate!
Indeed. Stay human, my man.
Farewell, brother. I fear I deliver you to a darker place. May the light of lights illuminate your path.
It is actually lighter over here. Don't worry about it. And somehow the entire rest of the night will be gone in the next 5 minutes. So don't worry about it too much. Classic jumping puzzle. Everybody loves it. Alright, we want to get some explosives happening. Apparently that's not happening. Oh my god. Yeah, barrel. Good opportunity, right? Yeah, it's very nice. Is that just the one that was already dead? That's like most of them, isn't it? Okay, I think that should be good. Totally forgot there was ammo over here. Glad I went that way. Okay, I think I'm actually good. To go over here. That's fine. You can stay there. Oh, bullshit. Oh, that was supposed to go under the fucking thing. Okay. Alright, well, that's fine. That absolutely should not have fucking killed me, but whatever. I'll take it. I don't care. Haha, nice spin. You know, I know, wow, that is really perfectly black. I know the whole point is these guys look like spiders or crabs. Oh, poo ass. And the whole point of, in Project Hail Mary is that Rocky looks like a spider or a crab, and they're in no way meant to look like each other. But the more that I look at the poison head crabs, the more I'm like, it kind of looks like Rocky. This is where I have to get hooked by this thing, huh? It's fine. Is this? Oh, no, that was just for that. That's not where I'm actually supposed to be. Awesome. Awesome. So good at video games and going where I'm supposed to be. Love this. Love this. Something so satisfying about this whole thing. Yeah, get him. Yeah! Nice! Yeah, come back up, come on. Oh! Hey, why did that guy not get got? There we go. And now it's not just dawn, it's like midday. So cool passage of time. Yeah, I know you're around here somewhere. I hear you. I guess it is dawn. I guess it's weird that it's as bright as it is when you're coming up out of the tunnel, if the sky still looks like that. Which is so fucking pretty! I love... Please let me out. Oh my god. I love all the skies in this game. All the skyboxes look so fantastic. I could eat this game for dinner every day and never get sick of it. What if I just run away from this guy? An absolute flawless genius who never does anything wrong. I want to do a damageless run of this game. Take absolutely zero damage the whole time. It will take me a million years and a million tries, but one day. Theoretically, I could do it. It's literally like, there's nothing random in this game. It would literally just be a matter of memorization, and I can do that. I can memorize a video game. I've done it before. I think the real trick to making that successful would be I would have to actually look up other people's like damageless runs instead of just trying to guess. I would have to memorize a known successful route. But again, that's fine. Take a little bit of effort, take a little bit of learning. But apparently one of my unique human traits is I'm not afraid of learning, so. Heard a grenade? Where did that land? Absolutely loaded by a tire, also probably one of the faster deaths in this game.
Winston's been hit.
Patch him up and get him to the back as soon as he's stable. Gordon Freeman. It's incredible you made it. We've been getting communication from Alex. I'll see if I can reach her again. Follow me.
I'm coming. I'm gonna come with you, but I'm gonna take my emotional support tire with me.
It's Leon. We're all clear. And I've got Gordon Freeman.
Dr. Freeman, you're kidding. Look, I've been on the line with Alex.
Yeah, that's
Her
me.
father's been captured.
Over here, Dr. Freeman.
Eli Vance is indispensable to the liberation.
Can I put this on your head? Oh, so
Alex, it's Leon.
close.
And I've got Gordon Freeman with me.
What? Okay.
Gordon.
Yep.
You made it through Ravenholm.
I
Thank
did.
God. I need your help. They've taken my father. He's been taken to Nova Prospect. The Vortigaunts tracked the ship that made off with him and Judith Mossman. While the trains are still running, I'm gonna hitch a ride. Here's where you come in, Gordon. I need you to make your way along the coast until you get to Nova Prospect. It used to be a high-security prison. It's something much worse than that now. But I think it's still easier to sneak in than to break out.
You wanted to take the coast road? You won't last 5 minutes on foot. It's spawning season for the antlions.
That's That's why I called you, Leon.
Did I not make it all the way here?
The scout car we left with you last summer. The one my dad rigged with the Tau cannon.
Yeah, good idea. Hold on a sec. Norco, bring the buggy out. Put it on the dock right now. Gordon Freeman will be driving it.
Will do. I just finished mounting an ammo crate on the back.
Good timing. Okay, Alex, we're all set.
Thanks, Leon. Gordon, I haven't driven the coast in over a year, but I have no reason to think it's gotten any safer. Meet me in the depot where the trains unload. Take care of yourself.
I need a
I'll see you in Nova
reference
Prospect.
list or like compilation of
Bye, Alex.
every time someone calls me Gordon Freeman versus just Gordon.
Okay, Doc. Before you hit the road, you might want to grab some med kits, restock on ammo, maybe check the map, see where you're headed.
I have
There's
everything
an
I
ammo
need.
supply crate on the back of the car, if that's any comfort. Stay with the car, make use of the thumpers. You'll stand a fair chance against the antline.
Hello, Dr. Freeman.
Hello.
Car's all ready for you. Hop in and I'll lower you down to the beach. Good, here we go.
God, that's terrifying.
Magnet's failing. Hold on. Sorry, Doc.
Is the magnet failing if what it's doing is not releasing? Isn't that kind of what a magnet is supposed to do? Alright, let's go. Yeah, driving, steering. We have steering, allegedly. I think I missed my turn. I definitely missed my turn. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, I'm in the water. Oh, let me go. Let's go. Come on. Yep, right there. Nice. Almost fell off. That's fine. We made it. Just get some of that. Yeah, fuck it. We're already here. Okay, nothing else we need. Wonderful. Let's load that map. Load it! Ow. Oh, that's gonna cause you some internal injuries. Go around here. That's right. Do a 13-point turn. Around there. No worries. This place is worth my time right now. Just go. Oh, crash. God, what disgusting splats. There's no way some of that's not going in my mouth. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with this either. Wow. Hi, hello.
Hurry, get in the basement. We're expecting gunships at any moment. Colonel Cubbage will be glad to see you made it. This steerable rocket launcher is our best bet for taking down a gunship. Ah, hello. I'll be right with you. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. Using the laser guide, you can steer your rocket past the gunship's defenses and prevent it from shooting down your rocket. This will only anger it at first, but if you can survive long enough to make several direct hits, you'll be rewarded with a prize worthy of any mantelpiece. Now, who's going to be the lucky one to carry it into combat?
Wait, what prize?
Ah, yes. Gordon Freeman.
Like a piece of the ship?
Couldn't have asked for a finer volunteer.
Yep.
Colonel Odessa Cubbage, at your service. Damn. Let me just send a warning to Lighthouse Point, and then I'll come right up and lend a hand. Go on. Teach that gunship a lesson it will never forget.
I know there's more rockets around somewhere, but... Did anybody die? Did we lose anyone? No, I think everyone lived. Cool. Do I have to go back down there? Let me out. Oh, we did lose someone. Oh.
Well, that's that.
Yep.
I got you disposed of that gunship. Reputation, sir. As well as drive safely.
Well, I can promise I'll drive. Can't promise I'll do it safely. I also feel like the buggy is a different color than it should be. I wonder if that's also one of my mods I forgot. Loading screen? Yep. Oh! I want the supplies. Come on. I feel like the antlions should be smarter than that. Like, they're familiar with vehicles. The Combine has vehicles. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to deal with any of you. Stop it. Let me up. Let me up the ramp. Oop, come on, shit. Why would you just stand there? Why is it getting stuck? Hello? What is there? been the fastest and smoothest I've ever done that particular section. This might be a good place to get the, Come on, hit me with a grenade. Stop flipping through the wall and hit me with a grenade. No? Oh, now you throw one. I can't get the achievement for killing you with your own grenade if you're already dead by the time I get my hands on it. So that's not helpful. Nice, thank you. Physics. The physics certainly are doing some interesting things today. Perfect. Speedy highway. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Guess I'm skipping the crossbow. Probably shouldn't. I probably should go get that. What? There we go. Did I get it? Did not. What a nice echo. Why didn't it get that other guy? Barbaric indeed. Here to infect you all with death. Can I kill you with the ABC? No. Does that do it, or does it have to go? It's disconnected. I'd like to see it go over the cliff anyway. Anything else? Nope. There we go. Let's hit a quick save and off we go. Hit a loading screen. Bam. Something tells me that the maps don't have to be so small anymore for modern computers. It'd be interesting to see this game compiled in a way with larger map sizes before you release it. What, you're afraid of a fire? Thanks. I don't think I've ever seen the combine outright to that like that before, but I guess still looking at that guy. It's not gonna get at me. Section with the buggy gun, but I figure it can't hurt. Sure, I guess that works. Saves a bunch of ammo. Keep pressing the wrong fucking numbers trying to find the gun I want. Alright, looks like we are clear. Just gonna leave these do another cute little save. I'm not dealing with you. You're literally not worth my time. Bye bye. Let's see. Battery up here. Beach section. Good, beautiful section. Love it. Looks so fucking phenomenal. Thank you for no need to grab onto the ladder if you want to get it. Why would you do that? That should not have taken that many fucking shots. Those ones I was prepared for. I'm learning. Slowly, but I learn. Absolutely hitting all the quick saves here because it's so easy to fuck up. I think I have to go through down below. Why are the revolver shots not doing that much to them? Oh, that's good grief, you guys need to learn to aim. No more recycling. I doubt any recycling programs are still working at all. Nice. Is the implication of all the beer bottles that, like, they're... Hi. That they're drinking? Or did they not even bother clearing those out in both of this place? I suppose either is possible, but I can't really imagine that a post-op combine would really get much out of drinking beer. I feel like that would be one of those things that they're deliberately designed not to be able to enjoy. Oops. Oh, I wanted to get those... back. I did not mean to land on his head, but I will take it. Yikes. Oh, poo. Oh, poo. And that's why I should be quick saving more. One of you around about here was going to throw a grenade at me. You want to try that again? Hey, yeah, give me a grenade. Alright, out of your way. And then see if I care. bridge. I don't love falling off the bridge. I think this is the right way. I always get turned around. Ooh, oh boy. There we go. The fact that that fucker can take more than one rocket hit is absolutely fucking wild, and a testament to how, like, maybe too tanky he is. It should not be that way. Just gonna ignore that guy. Again, not worth my fucking time or my bullets. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. A what?
Vital signs
Oh.
critical.
Alright, well that means I can try the grenade thing again. Excuse me. Come on, do it again. Do it again. Oh, wait. It's the aiming of that grenade that's going to be the hard part, too. I'm not going to try and actually waste the train, because it never goes well. Well, this is going to go poorly. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, that was too close. I did not love that. Okay. Am I supposed to go that way? No, it's the other way. Oh, come on. Supposed to go back over there. Seems perhaps. Yeah, I think so. So then we're gonna get another one right about here. Oh, that's what I get for trying to stretch my knees during a loading screen that doesn't last nearly as long as it did 22 years ago. Oh, I might still have some texture issues here. Looks like I got rid of the bomb that's causing issues in this area. Okay, that's fine. And then is there another road right here? Or does it actually just let me continue? It lets me continue. That's nice. Alright, well, that's... my phone is broken. Absolutely no guardrail here either. Like, did the combine get rid of it? Did it completely fall into disrepair? Oh no, I don't want to deal with this. Thank you. Maybe next time though. That's what I get for having my eyes on the screen for 2 seconds. Almost fell into that crap. Oh, don't be a butt ass. Standing right in front of a moving vehicle? Was that fun for you? Okay, now this should be another load, I think. Yeah, yep. Perfect curve without being able to see through the tunnel. I know what that means. Right.
Made it! We're picking up radio chatter. They're looking for your car. Get your car in the garage.
Car. I feel like car is a very strong word.
You'll have to go on foot from here. There's a secret path along the cliffside, but no one's going anywhere until we fight off this attack.
Oh, that's so broken it doesn't even spin. That's sad. Why is there no furniture left in here? It's a little weird. Opposite of cover. Oh my god.
Take this med kit.
Right, thanks.
Incoming dropship!
And no kidding. Is that all mine? Uh-oh. Ow. Ooh. Shit. Oh, that's not a good position to be in. Oh, do I have to
Okay,
do the
Doc.
whole thing?
You'll have to go
Oh,
on
I have
foot
to do
from
the
here.
whole thing
There's
again.
a secret path along the cliffside, but no one's going anywhere until we fight off this attack. Having you here to fight alongside us is going to make a big difference for morale. Oh, crap. Here come the dropships!
Alright, that's fine. We'll try it again
Okay, Doc.
and be more
You'll have to go on foot from here.
undercover.
There's a secret path along the cliffside, but no one's going anywhere until we fight off this attack. Having you here to fight alongside us is going to make a big difference for morale.
Big difference. You really put some emphasis on that plosive. Nice, gorgeous, cloudy sky, though.
Have a med kit.
Thank you. That was early. Why would that guy not die? Medic.
Take this med kit.
Thank you. Damn it. Medic, help. Please. Oh, that would not go anywhere. It's Ow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, alright. We're gonna do a quick save right there, just in case. Ow, ow, ah. Ooh.
Incoming! Dropship at the lighthouse!
That should have absolutely gotten somebody. That was bullshit. I need a little help, please. Just a little. Windows. Don't make me through the windows. Yay. Oh my god.
This way, Dr. Freeman.
Yep.
We'll take the cliff path before another gunship finds us.
Indeed we will.
All right, Dr. Freeman, come with me.
You want me to come down here? Or are you gonna come down here? What a subtle door.
Right along there. And watch your step.
Ow, what? Oh my god, I almost fell. Yeah, sorry, I can't help you.
Don't step on the sand. It makes the antlions crazy. Laszlo, don't move. No.
Whoops. That didn't count it. Okay, cool. Wow. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Fine, I'll just run. Who cares? No, 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 no. Let me up. Stop it. Physics. No! I'm trying to do physics. I have science to do. Leave me alone.
Minor lacerations detected.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. It's just... I'm literally trapped. Oh my fucking god. Okay. I don't think that was entirely fair, but alright. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Just get there. Are these guys all still mad at me from before? There's no way they would have actually all come at me right then. I didn't do anything. Ugh. So I bumped my mouse because I tried to shift my sitting position. Please, box! Oh my god. And I am going to take a super quick pause right here. I am going to run to the bathroom. I will be right back. Okay. I am returned. Almost. Gotta get resettled. Get my pillow behind me and whatnot. I am also super hungry. That's what happens when I don't eat immediately before I start a stream. Get partway in and then I'm like, this video game is great, but all I can think about is pizza. So I might have a pizza in my future. Oh, come on. I know those boxes don't have anything in them, but I want the satisfaction. This we need. Send it. Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. Just that right here, and then you send it. There we go. I love the way things just kind of float in midair. That was interesting. When they're heading towards you from the gravity gun. Pretty fucking magical. Nope, that's not where I'm supposed to go. Don't do that. Longboard. Let's longboard over it. I said, let's longboard over it. Hello? Can I have my box? Apparently not. The box is almost denied. Yeah, that works. That's just not even... okay. Oh, no. Just you? Okay. Oh, I should have kept one of those. That's fine. Will do. Hello? There we go. No, stop it. Fine. Fine. Have your way. Be mad at me. I don't even care. I don't even care. Come on. Oh, where's the button? I don't even fucking see the button. Okay. Oh, was I supposed to turn something on? Whatever. I don't need it that bad. Lots of clinging. Slow process. We'll get there. Come on, stop stacking. Perfect. Nice. I love when physics... I wish I understood the process of teaching a video game physics and making them actually act not 100% realistically, but like pretty darn close. Obviously, sometimes things have a little bit of a moment. They act a little bit unpredictably, but that's fine. That's fine. You learn the game. You get used to it. You start to calculate for it. Am I missing any? I feel like I might be missing some, but it's probably good enough. My favorite part about streaming in the summer is that by having my AC on, it makes the air that's blowing directly on my computer and my face like super dry, and then it makes my throat really dry and unpleasant, and it's wonderful. It's awesome to have to cough really bad in the middle of a stream. Right, good start, good start. Ow. Wow, that went even faster than I thought it would, and there's still an explosive barrel over here. Hello.
Free man must follow.
Interesting that my captions still aren't working, my in-game captions. I remember checking them last time.
Freeman will do wise to heed our extraction of the myrmidon's aromatic pteropods.
Myrmidon.
The process is not entirely hygienic, therefore stand aside. Freeman will have need of these pheropods on the paths ahead. Gather them now. Freeman must follow.
I squeeze the ball. I hope you don't mind if I explode all of your crates. Would you like a battery for your
Yeah,
troubles?
lions won't bother you now, Doc.
Is there really nothing else for me to take? I guess I'm topped up. Not even any ammo. Hi. Hello. You coming?
Keep going, Dr. Freeman. Nova Prospect is just ahead. One man alone wouldn't stand much chance going in there. A man
The Freeman honors
Like I was just talking to himself.
follow Freeman.
Follow Freeman? That's a chapter title.
The Freeman will now be instructed in the use of theropods. Attend now and burn to shepherd and lion with the so-called front gate.
Yeah, come on.
The Freeman will now break out this theropod and toss one into yonder gate. The Freeman has done well. The Freeman
Yeah,
again
get in.
excelled in all tests.
I mean, that's kind of a rotting body, isn't it?
Now, attend well. Apply pressure to your pheromone.
Yep,
to signal
yep,
the
I know.
lions in your command.
These guys' mannerisms are pretty cute when they're not
Freeman
trying to rip
shows
my
his
head off.
excellence in all things. And now this one must bid the Freeman farewell. Nova Prospect lies just beyond. Remember well what you have learned here.
Yep.
The Eli Vance has greatest confidence in you.
Yeah, how many of you guys can I get? What's the limit?
Priority warning. Outland stabilization force 6 Nova Prospect. Perimeter restrictors disengaged. Priority warning. Perimeter restrictors disengaged. Priority warning. Perimeter restrictors disengaged. Remote stabilization
Always absolutely bitching music. Fucking shotgun is causing me the most trouble.
execute containment procedure as before.
did that not kill any of you? Oh fuck, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to go back up there. Yep. I have an alarm that goes off routinely at 1:50 every Sunday afternoon, and every Sunday afternoon at 1:50 I'm usually streaming, and it is consistently distracting and consistently poorly timed. So I'm thinking I should probably cancel that alarm. It's supposed to let me know that there's a movie playing on one of the Discord servers that I'm in, but if I'm never available to watch it, then I don't necessarily need that alert. Oh, what's it? Oh, I don't think I've ever gotten in this room before. Somehow I totally missed that room even exists every other time we played this. It's pretty impressive.
Alert. Contact status 0 with Land C. Intercept. Possible anti-citizen 1 reinfection. All Nova prospects stabilization.
I could listen to the online and Overwatch chatter all day though. It's just so satisfying.
Nova prospect is for Directive 2. Engage reserve. Contain exogen incursion.
That was point blank. There's no way that should have hit it. Are you guys coming? Come on. Physics sure is happening. Oh, hello. This area is like strikingly similar. What is even including the big pipe going down. Cliff edges, drain pipes, cleared platforms, bugs. Oh, bullshit. Oh, come on, I was even ready for him. What? Huh? What? From who? What do you mean? And that's why you quick save after a jump and not before. I'm just gonna avoid whoever the hell threw that grenade at me. I think once I get to the, because it's not doors, but once I get inside Nova Prospect is probably a good place to leave it for today. And then I will... I'll have to check the weather to see if I can come back next week, but whenever it's cool enough. Why aren't you dying? Don't worry about the outbreak, it's fine. You won't get sick. I can promise that much. Oh, right in the nuts. Oh, bullshit. I should have hit. Come on! Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. We love to see whatever the hell that was. No more ammo? Probably shouldn't have saved right there, but whatever. Alright, here we can save. Charge me up. Give me battery. That is almost certainly the fastest I've ever done that section, and the least damage I've ever taken from it. That's pretty fucking good. Noble prospect. Alrighty. Is there anything good in here? Nope. Nothing I can use anyway.
Priority alert. Nova Prospect Oxygen Breach. Perimeter communication status 0. Internal stabilization team. Deploy sterilizers. Inspected infection zone.
Oh, haha, nice. Nice, guys. Unlock the door on a map load. It's wonderful. Super, super necessary. And through here. I guess I could keep playing a little bit. It might be cleaner better if I either cut it off here and do all of Nova Prospect later, or just finish Nova Prospect entirely. Yet I keep playing. I don't know. Torn. Oh, the hiccups are back. Oh, that's right. This is one of the areas that I usually take these turrets away. Oh well. Here, have a can of paint. It's delicious. Oh, hang on. Hang on. No, no, no. Stop that. You stop that. Thank you for the interruption, my dude. Ow. What shitty little ambush.
Deprioritize exigent containment. Hold for override code.
Am I supposed to go around that way or all the way down? I don't remember. Yeah, it looks like this way. That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna skip that. Pick up Let's check this out. Give it. Give it. And there we go. What do headcrabs get out of hiding in piles of debris? If they don't know that anyone's going to be coming by, and for the most part they aren't, how would that benefit them? Let me out. I know it's possible to skip this fight as well. Your timing has to be pretty fucking good. Love head trauma? Do you love it? Ow. that. Come on. That almost caused a deadly physics glitch. I felt it. The kind where it's like, oh, everything's fine until something moves. And then everything just kills you. Oh. Let's try that again. Actually, let's do that. Ow, that shouldn't hit me. Didn't that fail? Ow. Come on. Now this way? Yeah. There's something here, something. I don't remember how to get in. Oh, oh. Perfect, thank you. Save. Boo ass. I can do that better. I can do better. Let's fuck it up. Let's go. Are you secure? Oh, barely.
Contact lost in block 2. Deploy. Reinforce.
Deadly box.
Central block 4.
Alright, now what? Now where are we going? Loading screen means we're going the right way.
Block 2. Deploy. Reinforce. Central block 4.
Getting right in front of you. And then dying.
Congratulations with a strong measure of disappointment.
I don't care if you're disappointed in me. I don't value your opinion.
Pass along the message I have received from
God, every time.
Could have taken him at almost any time. Unexpected benefits. It cannot have gone unnoticed.
Ah, bullshit. There we go. Like some more of that. That's the good stuff.
Off-world assignment. Code reminder. Traffic light. Coagulating. Lamp.
I love the Overwatch instructions. It's absolutely baffling. What does it mean? Sorry, guys.
Obviously, I am not on the ground to close command the second severely questioned about these shortcomings, and now I must put the question to you.
No, you don't.
Man has
What? Why did that miss? Huh? What? What happened?
How could one man have slipped through your force's fingers time and time again?
It's such a human... Oh. That's such a human phrase. Just slip through your fingers. I wonder if that even translates to whatever Combine's, like, native language is. Ah, come on, let me get it. Stop doing that.
Vital signs.
Fine, you can stay in there, I don't care. Oh, what? Who did what there?
Well,
Oh boy.
I will leave the upbraiding for another time to the extent it proves necessary. Now is the moment to refuse. Human forces are to prove themselves and intercept. They will have to earn the privilege.
Green's speeches are so fucking deranged. Privilege. Oops, sorry. The privilege of being literally occupied by an oppressive fascist force. Absolutely incomprehensible. Well, I guess the unfortunate part is it is quite comprehensible. Well, alright, that one was user error for sure. That's fine. We'll get a better save here and we'll do better. Why wouldn't that explode it? There we go. Come on. There's gotta be a better way to do that. All the way back here again! Stop. Here's the thing, I don't believe in taking cover unless I absolutely fucking have to, and sometimes that does result in some less ideal results. That's fine. Ha! Right in the face. Every time. Every time. No, that happens consistently. I'm a great decision maker. Hello, hello. I see a first time chat. What is up? Congratulations, you have happened upon one of the most mid Half-Life players of all time. And we're gonna run real fast. We're gonna run real fast. There we go. I did.
Boy, am I glad to see you. You better hurry, Gordon. I'm glad you made it here in one piece. My dad's up there somewhere, in that holding area. It's gonna take some doing to get him out.
We'll get it done.
Let's get out of here.
I am gonna be thinking about pizza the whole time, though, just so you know.
I'm afraid I'm flying blind here. Every now and then a Vortigaunt gets captured and sends back information, but we don't have a complete picture of the place. The little we do know is all bad. Get ready.
That it? All good.
Right. Over here. Now to find my father.
Where is Father Dad?
These poor people. There. All right, I think I can bring him in. There. He's on the way. Let's go meet him. Done. Follow me.
Anybody else? Alex, maybe stop walking directly in front of my car. What was that about?
Come on. Just get this open. There he is. All right. Let me see if I can get this open.
Alex, Gordon, is that really you? I can't believe you found me.
Dad, are you all right?
I'm fine, but you?
What the hell?
You've got to get
What just
out
hurt
of
me?
here.
We're here to get you out, Dad.
Never mind me. Save yourselves.
We're
was
not
weird.
leaving you. I think I can recalibrate the Combine portal to get us out of here.
But where will you go?
I talked to Dr. Kleiner. His portal was almost working again. If he's managed to repair it, we'll end up there. If he hasn't, well, we couldn't be any worse off.
It's not worth the risk, Alex. I can't lose you. Get out while you can.
We're not leaving here without you. That's final.
We can't leave Judith here either.
Don't worry, Dad. We'll find her. For now,
We really could,
I'm
though.
going to send you to the teleport chamber. I'm not saying goodbye, Dad. We'll meet you there.
I know you will. I'll see you there, baby.
Let's get out of here. All right. Over here. I'm gonna head back to the security station and try to patch into your suit radio. Wait till you hear from me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, take care of yourself.
Why won't this break? Come on. Oh my god. Boxes.
Hey, it worked. Let's see what I can do to clear the way for you. Keep an eye out for Mossman. I'll get my dad through the prison as far as I can, then I'll catch up with you.
It's a you!
Hang on, I'll see if I can figure out how to get that gate open. Okay, got it.
Come on, give me it. It's just cardboard. No supplies.
I'll have this open in a jiffy. Damn, it's jammed. Okay, I've got an idea. Head back to that office.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
According to the schematics, there should be a vent behind those shelves.
Oh my god, why does shit keep hurting me?
Minor lacerations detected.
You guys are
Be careful,
rude.
Gordon. I'm picking up a lot of combine sensors in the area ahead.
Come on. Gordo, hit the fucking crap.
I'll start working on this gate. Just a sec. Okay, got it.
You, ammo, batteries.
Uh-oh, look at the monitor.
Come on. Ow. God, I love when they just get vaporized. And, yeah, you guys will come with me. Come on, please. I don't remember if these are some of the ones that are helpful to have with me, but better to try, I guess. What an place to wait while I'm shoving this shit through the door. I don't think those turrets are gonna help. I should go for the later. Actually, maybe they are. Let's just try it. Let's just see. Oh, did they already despawn? Nope, they're over here. I know there are a number of extra turrets that I can take. Let me through! So I guess that's that. Am I missing one? Are there only supposed to be 5 here? I kinda thought there were supposed to be 6. Nice freeze frame.
You're coming up to another control room. Looks like it's still occupied.
Maybe the turrets up here are the only ones I can take. You guys really didn't notice that? You guys are fantastic at your jobs.
My guess is there's a bunch more soldiers heading your way. Quick, search the room. There should be some combine turrets nearby.
But not these ones.
I can reprogram these turrets to attack the enemy. Set them up to defend the control room.
Oh wait,
Warning.
yeah.
Malignant viral interface bypass detected. Polyphasic core reprogramming detected. Sterilize.
So I can't use that. Yeah, I guess those don't count.
Compromised.
I can't shut down those fields from here. I'm going to have to catch up with you to get access to them. I'm picking up a lot of incoming soldiers. Hold the fort till I get there.
I could listen to Alex talk all fucking day. Wonderful voice. Come on. Come on. Setting me up with a literal game of turret defense is not necessarily the best possible gameplay, but it could be worse. Alex, are you coming? Oh, bullshit. I should have been able to take one of their guns there. Come on, dumb little man. Come here. Who threw that grenade, like, right on the floor?
Be there in a second, Gordon. it took me so long. Glad to see you're okay.
Yep.
Let's see if we can find Mossman. It looks like this station might give me better access. There she is. Wait a minute. How'd she...
It's from your area.
I'm not calling about that.
What's she up to?
You promised you weren't going to touch Eli.
Oh my
The
God.
soldiers were a bit overzealous, I admit, but he was too tempting a prize to simply turn loose, especially in the absence of Gordon Freeman.
You would have had Freeman if you'd been patient and just waited for my signal.
We weren't entirely sure you were ever going to get around to that. Human loyalties being what they are.
Dr. As I have stated before, you have to let Eli come around on his own.
I
You
have
can't-
known Dr. Vance far longer than you, my dear. I'm afraid your feelings for him may have blinded you.
Feelings? This has nothing to do with feelings.
She's not even
It's a
denying
simple truth
having
that when
them.
Eli believes
This
our...
is not open to debate, Dr. Mossman.
Doctor, please.
So sorry, Judith. I'm all out of time.
Damn her! I don't believe this! Come on, Gordon. Now we've really got to hurry. Go on ahead.
After
I'll
the
decide next
attitude
level
that she
security and catch up
had
with you when I can.
in fucking Black Mesa East, you really can't believe this? You're surprised? This surprises you. Mossman has sucked since day one.
Go on, Gordon.
I'm going. Don't rush me, I have to take my new babies.
Surveillance and systems inactive. Remaining stabilization team members report containment status please.
Going this way, right? How did you land on your feet? Well done. Really? A bathtub is tripping me up? Can you guys try and behave a little? We'll get there. We'll figure it out. I feel like I should have more than 2 of these here, but maybe I really am just misremembering my army of turrets. I do remember getting killed in this doorway by them before, though. Oh my god. What are you getting caught on? clearly busy. Where's my other guy? Ow, 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 ow.
Seek medical attention.
Where did the other one end? Oh, is that it? Oh, I think that's it. Yep. Will you just go? Thank you. Ow. There we go, finally. Can you please stop overreacting? Come on, stop getting stuck. Wait. Oh, yep, I missed the door. Wonderful. The way that it decides which thing to grab is not helpful.
Contact has moved to block. Warning. Sterilizer and containment compromised. Airwalk. All patient report. 6-8. Drop and convert immediately.
Anything else I can grab up here? No, nothing. Alright, grab these and jump down.
I'm picking up more incoming soldiers. See if there's some more turrets nearby.
Indeed.
Quick, get these set up. I'm seeing soldiers in all directions.
I don't remember what my optimal placement for these was before. Something like that.
Here they come.
Ah. Don't grenades.
More soldiers.
Yeah, no kidding. They're not gonna stop. walks up and kicks it over.
More soldiers are coming, Gordon.
How close y'all are being able to...
We must have hit a motherload of soldiers. They're coming in from everywhere.
Yep, they'll do that. How long has the second one been down? Oh wait, oh that's supposed to be facing.
As soon as I can.
I need more of the pulse rifle ammo. That's for the regular. That's not what I need. Thank you. There we go.
Now let's track down Mossman.
Warning. Surveillance and detection systems inactive. Remaining stabilization. Reporting status.
Let's go. Go on an adventure. Then I guess I will take the break after we go through the teleport. She keeps like trying to check on me. I'm coming. I have everybody first. Is that everyone? No, what we're not gonna do is get completely stuck here. Or we totally are. Alright, alright.
Excuse me, Gordon.
I knew there was gonna be a point where it either got me stuck or it was gonna trap me away from my turrets. And it did indeed try to do that.
Pardon me. Uh-oh.
doesn't make a lot of sense for them to knock out the lights if they're just going to put flares down anyway that we can also see by. Where's my other two?
Come on.
We're missing one. Where's number 5? Come on, where's number 5? We have 4. Is that 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
Coagulate. Clamp.
Alex, are you
Great, another security station. Got you now.
Are we going down there?
Uh-oh. Come on, Gordon. We don't want to keep her waiting.
3, 4, and 5.
Let me see this door. You're turning back now. There she is. Leave it talking to me, Gordon. We may need to get out of here.
Imagine you open a door and the person you've been betraying is standing there with 5 turrets pointing at you.
Alex? Gordon, how did you get in here? We know all about you and Green. What? You've been a spy for the Combine the whole time. What are you talking about? Damn it.
The audacity.
Move back, Mossman, we're coming in. Shut up and flag the signal from you to us. We're going to reconfigure this teleport and get the hell out of here. You see, we're working to the same end.
Guess what, Mossman? You're still
I've
lying.
already reprogrammed the modulator to emulate a Zen relay. That's my father's work you stole.
It's my work too. And I had to prove to Dr. Breen that your father would be the most valuable member of any research effort going forward.
Enough of your bullshit! Look, Gordon, there's my dad. I'm going to bring him in.
You found Eli?
No thanks to you. Just enter the coordinates for Dr. Kleiner's lab and let's get moving.
But we need access to the teleport platform and we're locked out.
I'll take care of that.
Mossman really is, like, not only an
Let's
idiot,
get going.
but consistently underestimates Alex's abilities. It's really the reason why it's so easy to hate her.
This thing? For how long?
I did have a fairly good idea of what to expect.
Actually, yeah,
You
it's
did.
over here.
It looks like it's waiting for us.
The Combine uses a peculiar pulse-forming network with a very long rise time. Takes quite a while to recharge.
So you've warmed it up for us. Good. And just in time. Dad, down here! Sorry we took so long. I hope that wasn't too bad for you.
Don't worry about me, sweetheart. Judith! I see they set you free.
Not exactly.
Eli! I'm so worried about
Wow, Jesus, that was loud.
Smaller than I imagined.
Hurry up, Mossman. Dr. Kleiner.
Yes, Alex. Where are you?
We're in Nova Prospect, and we're running the Zen emulation for the first time. Are you ready for us?
Ready, willing, and fully enabled.
Good. We'll send my dad through first. He's in position for... What's that? Hold on, gotta bring this back down.
Beep, beep, beep. Did you just knock that over, Alex? That's not helpful.
No, stop! What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Alex. It's the only
No!
What's going on, Alex? Jonas! What's happening?
Dr. Kleiner, you have to stop them.
Stop who, my dear?
Oh my god! What coordinates are these? Where the hell did she take him?
To science and outer space!
Cover me, Gordon. I've got to reset the portal. Gordon, use the turrets.
Can do. That explosion is really quite loud. Dear God. Oh, no, 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 not a grenade on my turrets. Don't grenade my turrets. I feel like this is not the optimal setup. I can do better. Let's... That should be good. Just have to watch out for these. And the bombs. I would like more pulse rifle ammo whenever possible. This setup seems pretty efficient. 3, 2, 1, and 2. Gun run. Hard to believe that none of you are using pulse rifles for me to take the ammo from.
Just a couple more seconds. God, it's done. Get the hell out of here. You're scaring me. Okay, Doc, lock on.
I await your arrival with
You have to get in first. Go.
Come on, Gordon. Get in.
I'm in. Oh, all my turrets. That's so sad.
Hold on. Where's Dr. Kleiner?
He's in last week.
Dr. Kleiner, let us out!
Alex? Gordon? My God, how did you get here? And when?
What's wrong?
My dear, I had given up hope of ever seeing you again.
I was afraid we might not make it either. I think the teleport exploded just as we were porting out.
Indeed, it did. And the repercussions were felt far and wide, but that was over a week ago.
What do you mean? Gordon and I were just there a minute ago.
Fascinating. We seem to have developed a very slow teleport. This suggests an entirely new line of investigation.
A week? Then what have we missed?
A great deal, my dear. The blow you struck at Nova Prospect was taken as a signal to begin the uprising.
But what about my father?
Well, that is most troubling. According to the Vortigaunts, he is a prisoner at the Citadel.
We've got to get my father out.
Barney has been leading a push with that very aim in mind. And another of your friends arrived several days ago.
Dog, you made it. Good boy.
Doggy.
So there, you see? It's not all hopeless.
I wish I shared your optimism, Doctor.
Doc, come in. Are you there? Hey, Doc, are you there?
That's my guy.
Yes, Barney. And I'm
That's
no
my
longer
husband.
alone. Alex and Gordon have just arrived.
Well, man, that's good news. I almost gave you guys up for lost. We're planning to set up a staging area for attacking the Citadel.
Gordon and Dog can head your way. I want to get Dr. Kleiner somewhere safer. Then I'll meet up with you.
I'll take all the help I can get. Aw, crap! Incoming! Go on, get going!
Okay, Gordon, you heard him. I'll catch up with you as soon as I get Dr. Kleiner settled.
Just a minute. I can't leave without Lamar.
Oh, no.
Where did she get to?
Go on, Gordon. I'll take care of this. Gordon, take care of yourself out there.
Okie dokie.
Dr. Kleiner, there's really no time.
Oh, this is probably where I should wrap it up for today and come back to it next week. Let's hit this load right here. Anti-Citizen 1. Alright. We will call it there. We'll make a proper save. Thank y'all for hanging out. I am going to order the fuck out of a pizza. And, let's see. Let's check the weather for next week so I can see if I can expect to stream next weekend or if it's going to have to be later than that. Looking into August. What is that going to be, the 2nd? 72. That's a maybe. That definitely just depends on how well my AC deals with the heat that day. So possibly next week. If it doesn't look like it's going to work on that day, I will announce it on my Discord, and we will be looking at the 9th instead. So I will see y'all then. Next time you'll hear from me, I will have been to Valve for like the 5th or 6th time. Ciao-dee!